jutting off in straight lines from a massive crater like two bilby ears. Near the moon's south pole is a pair of valleys similar to the Grand Canyon in size. But while the Grand Canyon was etched from the landscape over millions of years, these moon valleys were carved in less than 10 minutes, according to a new study in Nature Communications. Around 3.81 billion years ago, an asteroid or comet smashed into the lunar surface, a 320-kilometer wide crater at the top of the moon as we see it from the southern hemisphere. Streams of rocky debris ejected by the impact gouged out two valleys, the 270 kilometers long, 20 kilometers wide, and 2.7 kilometers deep Vallis Schrödinger, and stretching discontinuously over 860 kilometers, Vallis Planck. It was a dramatic impact event, study lead author and Lunar and Planetary Institute geologist David Kring said. Having measured the canyons and the series of small craters that produce the canyons, we were able to then calculate the flight time of debris ejected from the crater. Debris traveled at speeds of 0.95 to 1.28 kilometers per second, up to 4,608 kilometers per hour. The biggest chunks were 5.2 kilometers wide. The energy needed to excavate the two valleys was around 130 times the blast generated by the world's entire nuclear stockpile exploding at once. Dr. Kring's previous work has linked the buried Chicxulub crater to a mass extinction event 66 million years ago at the end of the Cretaceous period, which wiped out most dinosaurs. He said, studying the moon's craters helped untangle evolution of life on Earth, since both went through a shared history of bombardment. Planetary scientist Mark Norman, an emeritus professor at the Australian National University, who was not part of the study, said, the main new finding was that the projectile that formed the initial impact crater came in at a fairly shallow angle from the south. This produced an asymmetric distribution of ejecta material thrown up by an impact that is directed away from the lunar south pole, he said. He also said the study helped resolve some lingering questions about possible complications this rocky debris could have at proposed landing sites for China's robotic Change 7 mission next year and the U.S. Artemis III mission to return humans to the moon. In 2027, NASA has identified 13 landing options around the South Pole for the human-piloted surface mission, the first since 1972 and Apollo 17. Understanding debris patterns from nearby craters will help focus material collection efforts. This will be the first time astronauts land at the South Pole of the Moon, which is located in its oldest impact crater, the South Pole-Aitken basin. The South Pole-Aitken basin formed 4.2 billion years ago. It is 2,500 kilometers wide and up to 8.2 kilometers deep. The Moon itself is thought to have formed 4.51 billion years ago. By sampling rocks from the South Pole-Aitken basin, scientists hope to test theories like whether the Moon ever had a magma ocean or if it formed after a giant impact with Earth.